everyone, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, Blind. In the last one... Yeah, honestly, I'm not really sure what happened. We sure are in Hope's Peak. We had a chat with Nagito. Or someone had a chat with Nagito on a boat. The gymnasium is here, right? Alright, I'm going inside. Something might be waiting, but I'm not going to cower away anymore. And so I braced myself and cautiously opened the door. Yeah, open the door. Oh, hello. Lovely, I love that. I wasn't prepared for what was waiting for me on the other side of that door. I have a feeling it's not going to be the gym. Oh, no, it sure is the gym. It is just the gym. It was a normal gymnasium. Oh, what's up, guys? Yo, Hajime. That's not really my voice. There we go. Yo, Hajime. You heard the announcement and came here too? You guys did too, right?
What's going on?
Hey, what do you make of all this? Monokuma said this place was Hope's Peak Academy or something. That cannot be possible. You're right. Any way you look at it, it's impossible. Hello? How does it feel to return to the long-awaited Hope's Peak Academy? You know, it's kind of cool. I haven't been here in a couple of months. Yeah, 4 months. It's been a while. You. Hey, where are we? Why'd you lock us up this time? What a shock. I just told you guys, this is Hope's Peak Academy. There's no way in hell that's true. Oh, but it is. I mean, this is definitely Hope's Peak Academy. Well, what's left of it anyway? I mean, it looked pretty whole to me. What's left of it? Aside from the tech firewall blocking us from going through doors. Didn't I tell you before? Unfortunately, Hope's Peak Academy fell to ruin. You were serious about that? I don't believe it! Thanks, Minimaru. But of course it fell to ruin. I mean, they were doing things that they deserved to be ruined for. What do you mean? Anyway, I'm pretty disappointed. I went to all this trouble to bring you to Hope's Peak Academy, and you don't feel surprised or nostalgic. Oh well, it's not like I did this for you guys. Yeah, I mean, they've lost their memories. How are they supposed to feel nostalgic? Even if you don't feel nostalgic, I'm sure someone is feeling nostalgic right now. Oh, are you talking to me, Monokuma? Someone. Enough with this bullshit. Just spit it out already. Where'd you take us, you bastard? Though I am not certain of my memories, I believe we entered the ancient ruin, and it means I made this Hope's Peak Academy between the door to the ruin and the inside of the ruin. What do you mean, between? What do you mean, made? Oh my, your mind's getting the grumblies that only knowledge can satisfy. Good, very good. After all, Chapter 6 is all about feeding your knowledge hunger. It's fine to hurry along to the graduation exam, but it's in my nature to provide a little entertainment. Entertainment? You're planning to make us do something, aren't you? Yeah, it's nothing to be so cautious about. It's not like you'll be making life exchanges or anything like that. It's just a simple graduation exam. Then, what is this graduation exam? Well, as a headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know? On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision.
Oh, really?
Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here.
Huh? Why's that the option? We're obviously gonna get out. There's no way we'd stay here. This is annoying. Just hurry up and let us choose. Let us choose right now.
You can't do that. The main cast hasn't arrived yet.
Main cast?
I mean, you guys are just extras until the guest of honor arrives.
Oh, okay. The guest of honor. So, okay. So it's the person he's waiting for, right?
So enough complaining already. Hurry up and start researching the outside world.
What do you mean?
I have dispersed all the teaching materials you need for your research throughout Hope's Peak Academy. Well, I don't think this needs to be said, but all the information is accurate and contains no lies whatsoever. Otherwise, the main cast is gonna hate me. So, please rest assured and strive to do your best during this field trip.
And as usual, after leaving us with his cryptic words, Monokuma disappeared. Even if the setting had changed, even if the killing was finished, he was still the same as usual. What is going on? Outside world? Main cast? Somehow, I have a bad feeling about this. Like, he kept insisting that this place is Hope's Peak Academy. But that's impossible, right? Yeah, I mean, aside from the fact that he said he made it, yeah, this is clearly not the real thing, and I'll say my piece, I guess, just before we get into the investigation. But, I have some thoughts. How we make it back to Hope's Peak Academy from a tropical island in the first place? It's impossible.
It cannot be.
There is no place for Hope's Peak Academy to exist on Jabberwock Island. I said I wanted to go back, but I don't want to go back to a creepy place like this. What does this mean? So many things I don't understand have happened on the island. This building is really Hope's Peak Academy? God damn it. Excuse me. Well, that's unfortunate. I hope that hasn't been there for too long. This is the Hope's Peak Academy I've been admiring for so long? What in the world is going on? Damn it. Why is this happening? Why? I was finally able to attend Hope's Peak Academy. I finally thought I'd become confident in myself. Even so, I wanted to become Hope. If that's what you're thinking, just stop it. Listen carefully. The only humans worthy of becoming Hope possess amazing talents and a strong will. And the moment you're born into this world, you either have that or you don't. It has nothing to do with effort. You must be chosen by Hope to become Hope. That's why it's not even worth admiring. Or were you so blinded by your admiration for Hope's Peak Academy that you couldn't even see that? Ugh. You're just some nobody from the reserve course who never had a talent to begin with. A nobody who forgot he was a nobody. That's all. If I really am a nobody, then you should have just left me alone. Why? Why do I have to go through something like this? Hajime, did something happen? Huh?
Hey, bastard.
Now's not the time to zone out. Sorry, it's nothing. I don't really get it, but is that all? As long as I don't beat the crap out of Monokuma, nothing's gonna be solved. Is that what it means? Just what the heck is Monokuma anyway? He's not part of the Future Foundation, right? If you say that, then what is the Future Foundation? Even though Chiaki and Manami are gone, our situation hasn't changed one bit. Which means the Future Foundation wasn't our enemy. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, good boy for you, Hiko.
You serious?
So they're not World Ender? Then we really were tricked by Monokuma! However, the Future Foundation is responsible for trapping us on this island, right? Regarding that matter, I believe Monami never once denied that.
Even if they're our allies, they might not just be allies.
Maybe Monokuma is telling us to investigate that information on our own. Seems so. Chiaki said she could not betray the Future Foundation. If she were alive, she definitely would have helped us. No, even her just being with us would have been a big help. So what should we do?
Well, that's obvious. We're gonna get out of here safely. We have to do that graduation exam, right?
So annoying.
Graduation exam, huh? Nah, I'm not very good at taking exams. Well, I guess it's better than people dying.
Jeez.
Monokuma says something about a field trip, right? Is he telling us to investigate like we have been?
Alright! I'm gonna do it!
Thanks, Minimaru.
Like,
Yeah, we might be able to learn something about it. To learn about something. About Hope Speak Academy. About ourselves. I don't care if we don't know anymore. If we can just go back to our normal lives, I'm fine. Hey, we can go home when this is over, right? We can finally get off this damn island, right?
If that's the case, so I'll leave this island alive by any means.
of course.
Hell yes! Oh, Sonia never change. Well, I mean, it's a bit late to change, but never change. He's right. Now's not the time to bemoan how unlucky I am. Whether this place really is, or where this place really is, what's happened to Hope's Peak Academy, none of that matters. What's important is, I need to leave this island with the others. We sacrificed so many lives in order to survive, just so we could do that. There's no way we can stop now. But Monokuma should already know that that's what we're thinking. So, why did he say that? We have to decide on our own whether or not we want to leave Jabberwock Island. He should already know that we'd never choose to stay on this island.
Hey,
So, what are we gonna do? Can we start already?
Yeah, what are we even looking for? Do we just have to investigate this weird-ass building?
even so.
I don't think we'll find the answer to all our questions inside this damn building.
Well, I'll just go on ahead for now.
Hey, you're already going?
Jeez.
What is that idiot thinking? Running ahead without being cautious. She obviously isn't thinking about anything. Like always. It will be fine. There will no longer be any situations where we must exchange our... We must exchange each other's lives. So we should do our best as well. Like they say, it is not scary if everyone stops at a green light. If we stopped at the green light, we'd never reach our goal. Kane already took off on her own. Might be faster if we split up and look around too. Like Sonia said, if there's no more killing, we don't have to worry about anyone betraying us anymore. And then let's get this over with and go home. I'll go on ahead. See you guys later. Those brief words for Yuhiko left the gymnasium.
Excuse me.
I shall do my best to obtain a wonderful clue that will be useful to everyone. Now then, please excuse me. Sonia took a deep bow, then left the gymnasium. Miss Sonia! Please don't leave me alone! I'll be in danger if I'm left alone! Kazuichi chased after Sonia, who had just departed and left the gymnasium. I should hurry and start too. Oh, yeah. God damn, just a bit more. Just a bit more, and it's going to end. I can escape this nightmare and return to my usual, peaceful, everyday life. The only thing we can do is advance toward that hope. Even though I don't understand. And a lot of horrifying things keep happening. For the sake of everyone who couldn't make it this far, I'm definitely going to go home. Oh, it feels so good to hear a theme
this great inside this classic fucking location. Unfortunately, I am now going to have to search every single spot for Monokumas. Oh, nice. Level 70, baby. Oh, thanks, Monokuma. Oh, it always feels so great to know he has faith in me. Wait, is there really nothing to look at? It seems like there's genuinely nothing to look at. Okay! Well, while we've got the badass music in the background and this location, God, there have been a lot of things that have just been lying on that empty space on the floor, eh? Oh, it's actually kind of weird to see it left open. Like, no one here. But anyway, my thoughts. So, it seems likely that this isn't real. Right? I don't know to what extent. And I don't know if this is, like, how, like, fourth wall-y this is gonna be. I don't know if this is gonna be, like, hey, guys, you're in a video game! Haha! Or if it's gonna be, like, they're in, like, a virtual reality? Like, I don't know, like, what, it might not even be any of those, like, either of those. But, like, that's what it seems, right? Because the world's bugging out, yeah? So, yeah, I don't know if it's going to take the Doki Doki, you're in a video game approach, or if it is just going to be, you know, I don't know, actually, I guess Sword Art Online would be a good, example of this, wouldn't it? Like, you die in the game, you die for real! At least I assume that's what's going down, you know? Actually, that does raise a good question, doesn't it? If you die in this game, do you die for real, or are you just, like, ejected? Like, do you have to just leave? I mean, that wouldn't really make much sense, but... Anyway, this does explain a couple things, right? Of course, there's the start of the game, right? I hadn't really given it any mind. I thought it was just being neat and graphical and whatever. But, yeah, no, there was, like, an entire startup sequence, right? At the very beginning of the game. Which I guess could be, like, loading... depending on what angle we're going to take here. If they're going, like, into a simulation, or, like, a fake world, then... You know, that could be the... I don't know, the headset starting up. I don't know. Again, I don't know how in-depth this is going to be. And on the flip side, if it's the... You're in a game, it's literally the game starting up. That would also explain some of the random fucking things Monokuma has been able to do, right? Like, there wasn't doing anything too bizarre in Chapter 1, but in Chapter 2, there was, of course, being able to just snap the motive into existence. You know, the giant screen creating a video game. Chapter 3, this is probably the biggest one. The fact that he could just... The despair disease. Like, bring it into existence and get rid of it. That seems like something... Because we've also spoken about Monokuma... Well, Monami has spoken about Monokuma having, like, total power. As if he's, like, you know, messing with the... I guess it would be the source code of the game. So, like, the despair disease makes sense in that context, right? As kind of would Mechamaru, wouldn't it? Because Mechamaru in and of himself is kind of ridiculous, right? Rebuilding Nekamaru as a robot is really fucking dumb. And I can't believe I haven't really questioned it. But, if none of this is real, that makes total sense, right? The Monokuma could kind of just... yeah, I guess we'll just make him a robot man now. It kind of explains the creation of the funhouse, like how it just takes us, like how the train just took us somewhere that kind of didn't exist. Like, that sort of makes sense, I suppose. And yeah, though, the fact that the world is literally falling apart and there's like graphical errors and whatever, that's sort of leading me to that. I think this is the biggest bit that's like, yeah, this isn't real. This isn't reality. Which does raise some extra questions about Future Foundation and what Monokuma's actually even trying to do. But, you know. Anyway, there was one other thing I wanted to discuss, and that was Chiaki, right? So, like, based on some of the language she was using, right? In particular, there's the idea of the traitor being created. I'm kind of wondering if maybe she's similar to Nekomaru, or Mekamaru, you know? On the Fifth Island, there was that place that was creating a robot, and it looked like a girl, right? So I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, like Monami, Chiaki is also a robot. You know? Oh, I mean, potentially she could just be like everyone else. She's just been, like, you know, put in. Or hooked up. And to, I don't know the terminology, man. I know I've referenced Sword Art Online, but I've never watched Sword Art Online. I just know about it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Chiaki could be just some normal person, but based on her language, I'm gonna say she's a robot. That's my current thesis. Dunno. Well, I mean, I don't know who her brother would be then. Maybe it would be Mekamaru in that case. Like, her brother is... Because, like, that's what she said, right? They have a father and brother. And if she's a robot, she's just like Monami, which could arguably make them sisters. Is there Big Brother Mekamaru? I don't know! Actually, I don't know if was it Big Brother or just brother? I actually don't remember. But I'm gonna say brother. Just, you know, flat brother. Father, I guess, would be their creator if they're robots. Which I would have thought would be Monokuma then, but... Well, I mean, that's just Mekamaru, isn't it? So I guess, like, the designer of this virtual reality thing? Yeah, I don't know. That's just... Those are my initial thoughts right now, so... Oh boy, let's go back to exploring Hope's Peak, eh? Huh? That's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gymnasium, but... It's clearly different. Is this what Akuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know how he's doing it, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. But I'm not gonna fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. Oh god. Oh my god, I mean, I'm calling it nostalgia, but it was only like 4 months ago that I was last here, Jesus. This hallway. There's a oh my god. My dialogue box. There is a strange feeling to it, no? As if an invisible wall has been erected to limit our movement. Is it just me? I don't know. Are there going to be invisible walls? I mean, there are like... Was this filled in before? I feel like this was open. Oh, maybe it was just open on this side. Well, there's the dojo. The most oh no, the garden. The most useful place in Danganronpa 1. Yeah, there we go. There's everywhere. Oh, okay. We have some green rooms and light rooms. Well, I don't know. Yeah, you could go in the dojo by the looks of things. Okay, green rooms I think are just ones that straight up don't exist. Oh my god. Straight up, like, don't exist right now. And the light ones you can either go in, because I think we could go in the dojo, or have the yellow borders in front of them. Which is nice, I guess. tells me where I can and can't go. Oh man, this was a really pretty place though. Is this a dojo? Yeah, sure is. Archery range. It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. Maybe. Well, I saw something on the floor over there. God, you can really look at everything, eh? Oh, just like old times. Monokuma, you in here? Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Oh boy, these. There are a bunch of wooden lockers here. Oh, I see 6 has its key in. Each of them has a traditional-looking wood block key sticking out of them. I guess they're just for show. There's nothing in particular that looks like a clue. Training dummy. There's a straw post. I guess that means it was used for training. Very insightful, Hajime. The cherry tree is proudly displaying its full blossoms. Falling petals add to the elegance of the scene. If Hyoko and Peko were here, it would have looked truly picturesque. Oh man, I like that. Mix and matching the victims. Well, Peko's a culprit, but mix and matching the victims to talk about them as well. That's nice. We haven't really done that. For their sakes as well. We'll definitely go home. I'm glad we're still talking about everyone. Like, I've given you pointers before, Danganronpa 2, but you've slacked in the past few chapters a little bit on this. The target seems pretty far away. If the production team had more time, there could have been a mini-game here. Wait, what am I saying? Was there originally supposed to be like a mini-game here then in Danganronpa 1? Oh, nice little developer's note, I guess. Hey, did I miss the camera? It's armor and a helmet. Did the map developers design this to reflect a Japanese dojo? Hajime, you're breaking the fourth wall a little bit here. Oh, there's the camera. This is a surveillance camera. Why would there be a surveillance camera inside the school? Okay, I think these are the... This will be the same throughout the rest of the chapter then. So this is the thing that stood out as different. Hifumi, is that one of your manga? Or fan fictions? Oh, no, there's a Monokuma sticker in the bottom right. Never mind. What is this? Is this a manga? The title is Manga for Morons, A History of Hope's Peak Academy by Monokuma? Why is a manga with such a suspicious-looking title laying out in the open like this?
Let's start with history first, class. Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. Then, what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person.
Thank you for the advice. So, just as I thought, Monokuma made this. It totally explains how suspicious it looks. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. Oh no, we're losing the good music. I picked up the manga off the floor and started flipping through the pages. It's an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy's history, as narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy. Oh no. No, I'm obligated to do a cutesy voice. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? She's got pink hair. I'm making it Usami.
Hope's Peak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope in the nation's future, many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries.
Yeah, set for life if you graduate and whatnot.
New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Peak Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of talent.
Okay, this is a bit new. We haven't really heard anything about this before. Scouted by teachers, eh?
Hope's Peak Academy isn't just a school for talent, it's also a school for researching talent as well.
I suppose that makes sense. Yeah. Especially when you're government funded, you know.
However, for the past few years, Hope's Peak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding.
Wow. Relevant. The funding of the education system.
If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with their research of talent.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say most other schools don't, well, you know, England schools at least. English schools at least. That's not really their problem.
So they decided to implement a new system, the Reserve Department. Unlike the main department, who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department.
So what, are like the teachers' ultimates then? Or maybe like graduates from Hope's Peak?
The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Wait, hold on. Exam fees? Do you have to pay to take exams? Oh wait, no, that's probably like entrance exams, isn't it? Not not like your yearly exams.
Nevertheless, Hope's Peak Academy received an endless stream of applicants.
I mean, of course, when you're that famous, and especially famous for creating the best of the best.
Hope's Peak Academy was now available to talentless commoners.
Wow, there is something demeaning about saying that in that voice. I mean, it was already quite demeaning, but I feel like I should be saying that in Byakuya's voice, and it would sound somehow less condescending.
People who only cared about the brand.
Yeah, I really should be reading this in Byakuya's voice, eh?
With this Hope's Peak Academy managed to amass sizable funds and began further researching of talent. To create Hope's Peak Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope.
Oh. Well, that's not something we've heard either.
But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
Yay! Junko's back! Yay.
That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end.
And then Danganronpa 1 happened. Huh? The ending was so sudden, like a manga that suddenly cancelled in the middle of its run. Plus, these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga. The tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. These names are so melodramatic. There's no way these incidents really happened, right? Well, I mean, kinda yes, kinda no. I mean, Junko did do something. To the extent of which, you know, it was world-ending, not so sure, but she certainly did something. The manga only mentions the name, so I don't really know the details, but you know, it'd just be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. The Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those Reserve Corps students, right? Which I guess means Hajime's a bit of a rich kid, eh?
That's weird.
Oh, you're here again.
Ah, the thing that's weird is you, of course.
Huh?
Why did you forget that you were part of the Reserve Department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right?
Yeah, I was wondering about this.
But you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that, too.
What do you want me to say?
Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those Reserve Corps students. Or you willingly sealed those memories yourself.
Huh?
You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. Well, maybe not erase, more like shut away, but, yeah.
It happens pretty often. Not that I do anything about that, though.
Are you saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it.
When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a reserve course student. Spit on your shoe.
Damn it, what the heck? Well, I guess that's it. That's everything in here. Woo! Anything changed? No? One of these open? Yes! Okay. Alright, makes... Oh, wait, hold on. Sonia's gone. Does that mean... are people moving? Yes, they are! Kazuichi! How are you?
What's going on?
This hallway. It's kind of creepy. I can't go to places that I should be able to go. It's like some rule is being enforced for no reason. It's like there's an invisible wall or something. I know, right? Oh god, Kazuichi! Your forehead was sticking around there, my guy. With a little, like, pointy bit of your fringe. Or is it going to be, like, one person every single... Oh god, I've been running around, but I haven't even looked at my pet. Oh, I hope you haven't pooped too much. Oh, sorry, chibi me. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, I guess it's gonna be one person every rotation? I guess we're gonna go to all 4 of these rooms. Oh, man. Oh, another book. Well, is this gonna be the same dialogue as before? Metal slabs are covering portions of the classroom where windows would usually be. Go so far as to cover the windows like this. Does he really want to keep us locked inside? But why? Monokumas! You in the giraffe room? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. The clock doesn't have any hands. What time is it right now? I can't see outside, so I don't even know if it's night or day right now. I think that's it though, isn't it? Yeah, just whatever's on the book. Whatever's on the book! Whatever's on the table here. Is this... Oh, this is another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is... Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Huh? Wasn't the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga too? Actually, wasn't the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy the thing in the other... one of the non-accessible rooms in here? Like the non-accessible classroom? It's the room with like all the dead bodies in it. That's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. Actually, it's most awful, most tragic event in human history, Hajime? Please, get it right. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about the incident? Ooh, edgy. I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated, stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is... well, I'll just read it in Hajime's voice. As the name suggests, the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamukura. Oh ho ho! I see, I see! I guess that spoiler... well, spoiler was relevant, I guess? I thought it was just the old man, but no! Turns out it's more than just that. Okay. Sorry about that. Don't mind me. Let's just carry on. Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Develop him? So what, like he wasn't... Was he a robot? Is he Chiaki's big brother? Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. Really? To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru was known as the symbol of hope. Who was known as the symbol of hope was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope Peak Academy's student council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. The student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of the Reserve Corps students, who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Works cited: Danganronpa 0. With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy. I suppose that's what that room was, then?
What irony! For a genius known as the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a gold bar. Oh, you should be lucky that you're incompetent.
Damn it, he always has to lead up to something offensive. Seriously pisses me off. But ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before too. But it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I don't have to be in the reserve department. Alright, Hajime. That's right, the reserve department. Here, it said that the reserve corps students in the reserve department began uprising. Then, what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way I'd have a reason to do something like that. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's why he's here. Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? Certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident is really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Ugh, too true, Hajime. Now, should I finish looking at this floor? And then end the episode? I guess we'll finish looking at this floor. I guess the, good old biolab has just opened up. And then I'll end the episode. After that, I suppose. Is no one here? I guess no one's around. Okay. Biolab it is. Yep. Another manga. What the hell is with this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, hello! I saw Monokuma in there. I've seen this in movies before. It's a refrigerator for preserving dead bodies. At least, that's what it looks like, but that's not possible, right? Keeping dead bodies in a high school biolab isn't something you should joke about. It just feels so forced. This idea should have been cancelled during development or something. What am I thinking? I don't know, Danganronpa's pretty gruesome. That's just how it goes. And our favourite tarps too. There isn't anything else in here, is there? Just that stuff. Oh, tarps. This looks like a plastic tarp. Why is this left out like this? Clean up after yourselves, will you? Mihiru would not be having any of that. There's another manga just laying around here. And this time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was that incident really all about? It might turn out to be something lame. And I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped I was right. Yeah, well... yeah... Oh god, it's the Nagito Swirls. A story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. Kinda looks like the Kazuichi screamy face. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Take a shot every time we say that. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet. It began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then, it was too late. The ends and the means had already vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak killed the weakest among them, and soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear, as if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coups d'etats began occurring around the world. A war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization. Devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy. Oh, it's got to be Ultimate Despair, right? A group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they use them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society use their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. Right, yeah, blah, 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 blah. We've heard it all before, and Ultra Despair Girls has let us see it. We know that that's absolute bullshit. Yes, the tragedy is real, but also it's nowhere near as bad as Junko and Monokuma have written it to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not good, but, you know, it's really not that bad. Seemingly, anyway. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. It wasn't because I was freezing in this room. Biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favourite restaurant. What's happened to them?
Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you?
It's not a jab at me for yelling at this game. Who would enjoy reading something like this?
Oh my, you don't like manga? A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy.
Enough. What is this messed up manga?
I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you to not remember that... Such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault, though, thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains.
Yeah, this incident really happened, and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible.
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real. Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world.
I see. So that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning.
Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know? On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here.
He's trying to make us feel despair toward the outside world, so we'll want to stay on this island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps... No, that's definitely it. The tragedy. Whether or not this incident really happened. What in the world is this ultimate despair group? I wonder if they're a bunch of children. If they're devoted to a certain student who guided Hope's Peak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? What if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. Then, are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use. I'm gonna freeze to death. I'm at my limit. I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Whew, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So, where should I go next? Oh, well, only one place to go, I think. Should be this one. 5B. What have we got in here? No, oh, Fuyuhiko Monokuma. No, I should ignore it. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see him. Well, excuse me, I just need to check out if there are any hidden Monokuma thingies. Nope, okay, cool. Well, Fuyuhiko, how are you? When I went inside this room, that bastard bear was suddenly here. Keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. It's gonna be shit either way. So I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I don't want to do that either. Oh, great. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to talk to him. How you doing, Monokuma?
Well, hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right?
What are you doing here?
Well, there's another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth?
Should have done that from the beginning. I don't want to read your manga in the first place.
A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots.
I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up, what do you need to tell me?
It's about the key piece of information you've been waiting so long for. Surprise! It's about ultimate despair!
Huh?
Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days, it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive.
A high school girl?
Lady Junko Enoshima.
You know, the way that they're glorifying Junko here, like, yet again, kind of does make me think maybe it is gonna be Monica who's the mastermind here. Like, maybe... Junko and Ashima.
As the former Ultimate Despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the Ultimate Despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group.
Hold on a sec. I don't know what the Ultimate Despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl.
Humans are obsessed with their philosophy. Who are obsessed with their philosophy have uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it. That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the higher echelons of power.
Oh, did she now?
Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place.
So she even recruited people who would have been in the position to neutralize the threat? Oh, well, actually, in a Toa group, eh? Then what was their purpose? What was their purpose?
What?
Like I said, why did they cause that incident? Why did they cause that incident? It doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they do that without... They do what they did without any purpose.
It was Junko Enoshima's despair.
Huh?
For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima.
What are you saying?
I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving. For her, everything is despair.
What the hell?
With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges. Yeah, anything, really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so, the ultimate despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs.
Ugh, don't talk about limbs right now, please. Not to do with Junko. Nagito!
All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Enoshima. Like believers making offerings to their god, like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair, all in Junko Enoshima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends, and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something they had to do.
There's no way something that crazy is possible.
Do you know about the final days of the Reserve Corps students during the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy?
Final days?
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history.
Well, I don't know about change them, more like manipulate them to make them think that their values are also the same as the person in power. Hey, what do you mean final days? What happened to the reserve department?
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so the 2,357 students of the reserve department all committed mass suicide.
Well, that certainly explains why we've never met Eddie before. And I suppose if they're all dead, that might explain also why Hajime is here. He's the only one left, but Jesus Christ. Mass suicide? All 2,357 students?
Oops, it wasn't all of them. One person was excluded.
One person was excluded. Huh? Is that me? I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate Despair, Junko Enoshima. Doesn't scare me at all. I mean, Junko Enoshima is already dead. How do you know that? Huh? How does he know that? Oh, this is gonna be a long episode. Sorry, guys. Fuyuhiko, how do you know that? Hey, Fuyuhiko, is it true what you said? Junko Nishima is already dead? What? You didn't see? There's a book called Manga for Morons, killing school life in their bloody classroom. Oh, we weren't allowed in there. Is everyone seeing something different then? A bloody classroom? No, wait, what was that you said about the killing school life? We know the one. Like, the killings we were involved in, they were killings that happened at Hope's Peak Academy. So I recall the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her. Yeah, that's what it was. Killing school life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy. For a manga about the killing school life, it was drama, a lot of silly images and dumb gags. Oh well, haha, Danganronpa. According to that, the mastermind behind that fail's killing school life was Junko Nishima. Mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Nishima is dead. Turns out that killing school life was part of that whole biggest, most awful, whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Hope's Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Hope's Peak Academy, and she took away their memories. It's just like us. Apparently the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. It's no limit to being a cruel asshole. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing? The students of Hope's Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival. They were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up. But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko Nishima failed. Junko lost to the students she placed in a trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then Junko is no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter. Junko Nishima isn't alive anymore. Then, who is our enemy? Junko Nishima is already dead. The rest of the Ultimate Despair is behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? It's the only thing I can think of. I mean, yeah, it's a good idea, but I don't know. Again, I don't know if they're actually going to go with the Monica thing, or if... Okay, by the way, I do know that Ultra Despair Girls was made after Danganronpa 2. But yeah, I don't know if, like, Ultra Despair Girls was, like, to give a backstory, kind of, to Monica, or, like, set her up as the villain for this game. Because obviously at the end of that game, I mean, not only do we kind of figure out that Junko... I mean, she's not alive, but she was at least existing in the form of... not Monokuma, Shirokuma and Kurokuma. Obviously, Nagito also had a thing with Monica at the end. There was also someone else there? I don't know, based on the fact that I still don't know who they are, maybe they're the person Monokuma was waiting for, maybe? I guess by proxy they might be the person who was talking to Nagito on the boat in Chapter 0, maybe? Yeah, I'm not really sure on that one. I mean, the killings we're involved in resemble that killing school life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that. An imitation. If the students from Hope's Peak Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake. But if this is really an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? I mean, potentially. The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting to somewhere, just like the surveillance cameras during the killing school life? God damn it, Junko. You've been awfully quiet.
Man, Hajime, you totally know about that story, huh?
What? Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it.
What are you gonna do?
Oh well, I'll just raise the flag.
Flag? What do you mean, raise the flag? What's going to happen if you do that?
One step at a time. You're getting closer to clearing my character route.
Hey! That's a Chiaki thing. Don't nick that from her. Bitch. You're not making sense again.
Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I'll raise them flags like crazy.
Okay, well, I know I said I was gonna end, finish this floor, but I've really got to end the episode here. It's getting ridiculously long. I'll see you guys in the next one where we, apparently get more information from Monokuma. And until then, see you in the next one. Or goodbye, or fight. See ya.